After my last video, I had a few people reach out and ask me if I ever quit anything. Well, you damn right. I quit complaining. I quit feeling sorry for myself. I quit doubting my capabilities. I quit trying to control everything. But the one thing I quit that completely transformed my life was making excuses. I quit giving myself an easy out. If I fell short, I always had some miraculous story as to why. Like, man, we lost that game because the refs cheated. Man, I was fired from my job because I caught a flat tire and showed up late. Or man, I didn't get that job because dude was racist. No, the refs didn't outscore you. The other team did. If the game was close enough to be decided by a bad ref, you didn't outwork your opponent good enough. And you didn't get fired because you showed up late. People show up late every single day and don't get fired. You were let go because you weren't valuable enough. If what you brought to the table was irreplaceable, no employer in the world is going to fire you over a flat tire. It wasn't being late that lost you the job. It was being replaceable. And one thing I know for certain, deposit slips don't give a damn about your color. Black, brown, white, that doesn't mean anything when we're talking about green. Don't ever let your complexion be an excuse. That's the worst excuse of them all, because it's a slap in the face to everyone that's ever succeeded, regardless of racial barriers, during times that were far more dangerous than the things we complain about today. You didn't get that job because you weren't good enough at that time. That doesn't mean you won't be good enough next time. But in that moment, you failed you, not your skin color. Now, I'm not here to tell you racism doesn't exist. It's out there. But it's not a good enough excuse to accept failure. If you allow your inadequacy to be masked with an excuse, your brain stops trying to fix the issue that caused you to come up short in the first place. You're basically telling your brain it's been relieved of duty. You figured out the problem, so it no longer has to think about what caused it. It's all good. Do you see how this can be a recipe for disaster? If you don't hold yourself accountable for your failures, you're destined to relive them. People tend to try and find a way to absolve themselves of any wrongdoing. I prefer to do the opposite. I take the blame. Give me all the blame. I'll take it. Because it creates more problems for me to figure out. And at the end of each problem solved is growth I obtained that you passed up. I promise you, after watching this video, conversations will never be the same for you. This knowledge right here is why I'm considered to be an asshole. This paradigm I've created is why people don't call me for advice. Because in a matter of seconds, I'll be able to eliminate your excuses and show you exactly why you failed. And nobody likes to hear it. It takes courage to look someone in the eyes and say, I failed because I wasn't good enough at that time. I failed because I didn't execute the way I should have. I procrastinated. I slept in. I didn't give it 110%. I failed because my principles weren't in line with my values. Nobody wants to look in the mirror and admit, I didn't lose because of you. I lost because I failed all by myself. It takes a special kind of commitment to be able to swallow that pill. But that's life. Quit being so insecure that you can't admit your own faults. Nobody's perfect. And only a failure plays it so safe that they can appear to be greater than what they actually are, and then let fear come in between their destiny. Don't let fear tell you how to live your life. Legends failed every opportunity they had until they became legendary. Nobody knocked it out the park their first at bat. So don't be afraid to strike out. And when you do, because you will. And when you fail, it's because you have to in order to learn how to succeed. So when that time comes, don't blame it on someone else. And don't you dare blame it on the circumstances. And don't cower out of that moment. Own it. You don't deserve to be celebrated for your success if you can't learn to thrive in your failures. There are no excuses, only results. Every failed attempt is a lesson learned. because there's no shortcut to success. If there was, I would have found it already. Trust me, it takes work. So quit making excuses for failing and start analyzing your approach. What is it about your efforts that caused you to fall short? Find it, fix it, and keep on trying. Your dreams are located at the end of your excuses. So what are you waiting for?